What's up, fight fans? Welcome to Mr. Mustache MMA News. Today, I want to discuss this Saturday's co-main event between Steve Erceg and Ode Osbourne. But before we get into it, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button to continue getting more MMA content by yours truly to help the channel grow. All right, guys, getting right into it, we got a pretty fun flyweight fight this Saturday in our co-main event. We got Steve Erceg, who's coming off of 3 straight losses in a row, in where I feel like there's more context that should be added to the losing stretch that he's on, right? I mean, started off 3-0 within the UFC and kind of became a victim of his own success. At the time, there wasn't a whole lot going on at flyweight. Pantoja was just kind of running through everybody, and Erceg just kind of emerged as this heavy-hitting fighter who likes to put on the pressure and was exciting. Kind of came out of nowhere. And, took Pantoja to a decision loss, but, I mean, was a tough fight. It went down to that 5th round and really showed, even though he lost the title fight, seemed like he's here to stay. And then followed that up with the fight with Kai Kara-France, where he lost, 1st round knockout, was looking really good, was looking hot early on in that fight. Then Kai caught him and put him away, capitalized on that, and got a decisive victory. Then after 2 in a row, had the fight with Brandon Moreno. Back and forth fight, great main event. 2 guys win at it, but then did not get his hand raised. So now is in this sense where, yeah, he's lost 3 in a row, but it was to the 1% of the 1%, right? But now has to do something. Even though he lost to the best, it's still 3 in a row. So he does have his back against the wall. He does need to make a statement here against Ode Osbourne, and I believe he's going to be looking for that. And even though he has made himself known as this striker, this boxing heavy style of fighter within the UFC, but he has a lot of submissions. I think he has about 5 or 6 submissions in his career, so he's not scared to wrestle. He's not scared to grapple either. And here against Ode, 13-8. But also his wins and losses don't really reflect on the danger that he possesses and that he presents to his opponents in his fights. Always looking for the finish. A guy that, is willing to go out on his shield. I think that is a kind of a representation of his record. He is willing to be reckless, be a little bit unorthodox, explosive, take chances, take risks, and sometimes doesn't always go his way, but has found some really good wins. I think he's got a win over Charles Johnson, and he's fought pretty much everybody over the years. He's been around since, I think, UFC 246, 247, so he's been around for quite some time, and not always finding success, but there's a reason why he's stuck around. He's exciting, looks for the finish, and like I said, he is riding a win. He is coming off of a win, even though he was riding a 3-fight losing streak before that. So, it just shows, win or lose, back against the wall, the guy can perform. He looks for the finish, and do or die. He is a go-out-on-his-shield style of fighter, something that the UFC always looks for. And it seems like always when he needs to keep his job, he goes out there and gets a big win, and which is something that he can capitalize. If he gets a big win over Steve Erceg, that's really going to just kind of steal Steve's hype. Even though he is coming off of his losing streak, it's going to help catapult Ode back into getting those big names once again. Do I think he's going to get it done? I don't think so. I think Steve's going to go out there. I think he has a statement that he has to make. I think his back is against the wall in this fight, and I think that he's going to go out there and put the pressure on Ode. And I just think that he's going to be able to stay calm in those chaotic moments where Ode is, he's moving around. He gives his opponents a lot to look at, and I think that Steve is going to be able to stay patient in those moments, and I think he's going to capitalize and find the button on Ode Osbourne. Do I think he's going to get the finish? I'm not really sure, but I do think Steve's going to get his hand raised in this fight. I just think that his ability to slow the fight down and just kind of be good everywhere, I think Steve is just going to be very poised against Ode Osbourne here this Saturday in the co-main event. Guys, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Do you guys have Ode winning this fight? Do you guys have Steve Erceg winning this fight? Love to hear your guys' thoughts. That's going to do it for today, guys. Mr. Mustache, MMA news out. Let's fucking go, fight fans.